From the beautiful campus of Casper College, it's time to dive into the world of Casper College athletics with another episode of the Casper College Coaches Show. Now here's your host, Phil Kohler.
Welcome fans to the Casper College Coaches Show. I'm your host, Phil Kohler, joined as always by the head coach of the Lady Thunderbirds, Coach Ganeri. Coach, big win on Friday night. You guys moved to 14-4 overall, knock off the number 24 team in the country in Western Nebraska. How big was that win for you guys?
Oh, it was huge. There was some excitement after that game. We had played them in early December, and we lost a tough one there by 5 or 6 points, and it was a close game. It's very similar to what we did on Friday night. It was back and forth, and then they hit some key threes down the stretch and pulled out to that 5-6 point lead. So to be able to flip that script and to win at home in front of our fans, which big shout out. It was so cold. The weather was miserable. First of all, shout out for Western Nebraska to making that trip for a non-conference game. And for the amount of fans that we had, I was so impressed. So it was fun, and I am glad we were able to reward our fans and our team with a win there.
Absolutely. Well, and especially for just one game. You know, you expect a crowd like that for 2 games.
Yes.
But for just the women's game, it was a great crowd here Friday night.
There is a pride element. When I look up and we're in the solo game, and there's good support, that I love it because I know how hard our girls work, and so it's pretty cool for fans to come out and just watch them.
Yeah. Well, so Coach, I was taught in teacher school that you sandwich things. You give a good, and then maybe a bad, and then a good. So we're going to start with the good. I mean, Coach Logan Alvar comes in. She scores 15 points. Your 2 guards combined for 15 rebounds. All 3 of them played really, really well. Talk about what they brought to the table for you.
Logan, every game just has an element that not too many teams have. She can do it defensively. She can do it offensively. Good rebounder, good passer, great IQ. She's just overall complete. Good energy provider, smart kid, knows the game, knows what it takes to win. So, that's I don't want to say I expect that type of performance out of Logan, but she has provided that type of performance a lot. And for our guards to have 15 rebounds, it was critical in that game. We out-rebounded them, I think, 42-70 or 42-25, and that was big because neither team had their best floor game. And for us to win that rebounding battle was huge.
Yeah, and to that point, you guys don't shoot it very well from 3. You make 20 free throws, but it's out of 30 attempts. You don't shoot it great from the free throw line. You turn the ball over 25 times. Coach, how in the heck did you win this basketball game?
Great question. We had a great fourth quarter, which we'll probably get to. But, I think it was both teams were in a similar situation. They probably had more turnovers. I think they had 18, and that's a little higher than what they normally do. And they shoot it better than what they did, probably against us. So I don't think it was either one of our A game, at least for three quarters. So we were fortunate that was taking place for Western Nebraska. I was really happy with us getting to the free throw line as often as we did. Would like to shoot better than 66%, but I do think the free throws is what kept us in at those first 3 quarters. Without that, I think there would have been a 10, 12-point deficit going into the fourth quarter.
Well, and Coach, I felt like the other thing that kept you guys in it was your bench play. You get 28 points off of the bench. We talk a lot of times about the starters and their play, but talk about how important it was for the bench to come in, score that many points, play as well as they did. I felt like they kind of kept you afloat for the first 3.
100%, and we'd like that probably every night. And I think, we talked, last episode how we like balance, and nobody's over 10 or 11 points. If you can do that with your starting 5, and then you also have 2 or 3 kids coming off the bench that can provide an 8 to 10 to 12 point night on an occasion or every other night, that's a huge luxury. And I'm very confident. I mean, Angela and Anna have been coming off the bench very consistently, and they've been doing that. They've been giving us a spark, and we did that last year with Jocelyn. I mean, she was good enough to start, but I love bringing someone that can provide offense coming off the bench, and so that hopefully can continue for us.
Sure, and you talk about Anna Cheney and her impact that she's made off of the bench. You think about one of those 3 returning sophomores from last year's team. Obviously starting is probably going to be important to her, but it seems like she's really accepted her role of coming off the bench. She scores 8 points, 4 rebounds for you on Friday night. How important is that steady piece coming off the bench?
Critical, and you couldn't have said it any better. Anna is good enough to start, could start. I would have zero problem starting her. She's locked in on the scouting report as much as anybody, if not more. But I really love having quality coming off the bench. And when we make our first 2, 3, 4 subs, if we're not changing anything that we would do at the start of the game, that's a luxury. I think Anna and like I mentioned earlier, Angela provides that. So having those two coming off the bench, Anna. Both as sophomores, zero ego that I've observed. They just want their team to play well, and so great asset for us.
When you wish you could have 15 Anna Cheneys, right? I mean,
you were right. You're right. I love them all. You could say that about X and
sure,
Y.
absolutely.
When you said that, I'd like 15 of her or 15 of her, and
right.
that's a great thing for me.
Absolutely. Well, Coach, let's get a chance to get to know Anna a little bit
Yes.
better as we go 94 feet with Anna Cheney. This is 94 feet with Anna Cheney. Anna, are you nervous?
I am.
All right, let's start walking. You came all the way from Hungary. What's your favorite thing about Hungary?
Probably going to Lake Balaton with my friends.
All right, you kind of got a weird last name, Cheney. It sounds normal, but it's spelled kind of weird. What's the worst pronunciation you've ever heard?
Sessiani. Last year, Jocelyn I go pronounced it that way.
All right, on the team this year, the Casper College women's team, who's your best teammate?
Irene.
All right. You get an option between making a basket, an assist, or a rebound. What's your favorite thing to do?
Giving an assist.
Good. What's your favorite part about Casper, Wyoming?
The sunshine.
Absolutely. Last question, the hardest one. What's something that Coach yells a lot in practice?
Hustle.
This has been 94 Feet with Anna Cheney.
I'm sorry, I didn't know how I was.
Welcome back, fans. Casper College Coaches Show. Coach, Thursday, you guys have another home game. Central Wyoming, start of Region 9 North play. Thursday night, 5:30 here from the Swede. You guys get Central Wyoming. They come in 7-11, so below 500, but they've already doubled their win total from last year. Talk about what this team is building here over in Riverton.
They are getting better. They're a lot better, and we did scouting report and video on them yesterday, and that was the first comment I made. I said, I know this doesn't mean anything to our freshmen, but sophomores, this team is a lot better than last year, and they are. They've got very good guard play. I like their interior play. I think they're very balanced offensively. Coach Westmoreland's doing a great job with their program, and they're trending in the right direction.
Well, Coach, you look at 11 of their losses, 9 of them have come against teams that have been ranked at some point this season. CSI, Salt Lake, NJC, and Western Nebraska, all teams that they've played multiple times now. So they're a battle-tested team as well.
Absolutely, and again, credit to Coach Westmoreland because he's putting out a tough schedule, and that's what makes you better. And they've got those losses, but they've competed at least for large stretches of those games, even for the whole 40 minutes sometimes. So they're a team that is going to be very good on Wednesday night or Thursday night, and also by tournament time.
Absolutely. Well, Coach, a team that comes in with only one sophomore, and even that sophomore is only averaging 2 points a game. But this team is young. They're hungry. Give us a key for that game on Thursday night for you guys against Central Wyoming.
Yeah, again, and they're, like you said, their offense is coming from their freshmen. They have 2 really good scoring guards. They both can drive it and shoot it, but Verga, very good three-point shooter. I think she's right around the 40% mark. And then Rodriguez, another freshman guard, is a very good driver on top of being a very good shooter. And they have 2 or 3 other perimeter players that can shoot it well. Their interior game was Sawyer and I don't know if I'm going to pronounce it right, Nakiai. Yeah. Sorry, I think that's right. But they're very, very solid in there too. So they are a very balanced offensive team. They will press you on defense. They'll mix up their half-court defenses. So they're going to be a handful. And I think like any other sub-region game coming up, it's going to have our A game for us to have a win at the end.
Sure. Well, you talk about the sub-region. You play everybody twice. How important is it to get these first 2 sub-region games at home, get the crowd behind you, hopefully get a little bit of momentum as you roll into Region 9 play?
Each one's critical. I think, the North gets to host a regional tournament. So number one, you want to have the best seed period. You want 1 or 2 for sure, so that you don't have to play a play-in game.
Right.
You don't want to risk not getting into the tournament with a play-in game. But again, like with the North hosting the tournament, we would love the 1 seed, but we're going to have to earn that. There's 6 teams in our region. Like I said earlier, if we don't have a really good game against them, we're going to take a loss.
Yeah, well, another really good team that you guys get on Saturday, 2 o'clock, Northwest Wyoming. They come in 11-6 overall, a team that can really score it offensively. What have you seen from them so far?
Like you said, I think they're averaging 70-plus points a game. Very well coached. Another team in our sub-region that they're going to know us. We will know them somewhat. Their guard play is probably one of their strengths. They're a little bit different than they were last year, at least for my early study on them. They shoot it probably a little bit more often on the 3 and stuff like that. Hernandez, who is now at Metro State, was a very good post player for them. So they're building back in that area too. So good, another one that we're going to have our hands full with.
Well, and another team very similar to you guys and Central, very young. They only have 3 sophomores. The big difference between them and Central is they've got a sophomore that can really play it. And Roxanne Rogers comes in averaging 18 points a game. She can score it at all 3 levels. What's the plan on trying to slow her down?
Slow her down. That's it. Make her earn every basket, because she's going to get them. She's good enough, and we're going to get a hand in her face and have some pretty good defense, and she's still going to knock down a 3. She can get the rim. We're just going to have to. We can't give her any easy scoring opportunities, or she's going to not only put up a number, she's going to put up a huge number. So just making her work and earn every one of her points.
Absolutely. So then, Coach, Saturday, 2 o'clock, what's the big key for that game? I know, obviously, you're going to have to really defend at a high level to slow that team down.
We are, and so offensively, we're going to have to do better than what we did on Friday night. In both of these games, we can't have a high turnover ratio, and we talk about it a lot. It's a possession game, and it's especially going to be that if you're going to play a team that's going to shoot it well. So we're going to have to do a good job on taking care of the basketball and then win the rebounding margin again. So it'll be a challenge.
Sure. Well, Saturday, 2 o'clock, Coach. Fans getting free on Saturday. There's 2 games, the 2 o'clock and then the boys at 4 o'clock. Talk about how important it is. Again, you guys have these first 2 Region 9 North games at home. Talk about what the fans can bring to the table and how important it is.
Oh, they're critical. It means a lot to me personally, just because, again, I love the support, but there's no doubt it's an advantage for our girls. Our kids, we point this out every time we watch video. Look at their stands. Look at their stands, and then look at ours. We appreciate the support that we get from our fans. So it's not just coming from Coach Macy or myself. It comes from our kids. So as many of you that can come out, just understand that we really appreciate the support.
Well, and again, the opportunity to potentially have some extra basketball at the end of the year as well. If we win these couple of games here, get started in that right direction towards hosting that Region 9 tournament, hopefully at the end of the year.
It would be great, because we don't have a lot of home games. It would be great if we could give them some bonus basketball at the end.
Absolutely. I know as a fan, I would certainly love that as well. So, Coach, best of luck this week. Thursday, 5:30 Central Wyoming. Saturday, fans get in free. Saturday, 2 o'clock against Northwest Wyoming. Best of luck to you this week, Coach.
Appreciate it as always, Phil.
Absolutely. Fans, remember, always shoot for the stars, because even if you miss, there's always a chance for an offensive rebound. Thanks for joining us.